5 tips to create enticing product photos with your smartphone. Hi, I'm Natalie, a food photographer working with chefs, restaurants and brands, creating enticing advertising, book and branding photography. I began the Photographer's Table as a platform to share my passion for food and the interwoven threads of sustainability, heritage and culture. Storytelling is a key part of my photography and is emphasised through the relationships of the clients I work with. Today I'll share with you 5 tips so you can tell your story with your smartphone camera. Tip 1. The best camera is the one you have with you. Don't worry about buying the latest camera. Unless you're an avid photographer like me, the camera you're most likely to have will be the one on your smartphone. Today, out of every 10 people, 8 own smartphones. Wherever you go, you will see everyone with a smartphone, and one great feature about them is that they come with an inbuilt camera. This makes it easy for you to take photographs and capture memories irrespective of where you are. They're portable, convenient, and you can access social media instantly, without the need of a PC. Not only that, modern day smartphones are now becoming competitive with their regular camera alternatives in terms of megapixels. Today, a top-of-the-range phone with a 40 megapixel camera costs just shy of a fifth of the cost of its regular camera equivalent, meaning not only is it convenient, it's affordable too, and the likelihood is you already own it. Just like a regular camera, your smartphone has an aperture, focal length and white balance settings. These are all controlled by the phone's software. However, there are apps that will let you control these manually, and we'll get to these a little later in the video. Tip 2. Know the best camera angles for a smartphone camera. Generally, smartphones have a wide-angled lens as standard. Wide-angle lenses typically work better for top-down 90-degree angle shots, also called flat lays or tabletop shots. The reason flat lays and overhead shots have become so popular is because the 90-degree angle is so flattering for most subjects. It eliminates depth and brings more of a graphic pop to an image. You can fit a lot more into the image and into the scene, and it's relatively easy to compose. However, this angle doesn't work for everything. For example, if you're shooting a tall product, like a cupcake, if you shoot it from above, you will not be able to see the various layers composing the cupcake, and the picture will only be about the icing, which is hardly the point. Tip 3. Experiment with natural light. Natural light has an amazing and beautiful quality, however it can change very quickly and be unpredictable to a degree. Considering the mood you want to convey in the photo is a good way to decide if you will use hard or soft light. If you want a softer image, I like to use a diffuser placed in my window. This diffuses the light, but it's also important to remember it cuts down on the amount of light reaching your product. Alternatively, if you shoot on an overcast day, the clouds act as a natural diffuser. If you want the light to have a harder quality, then allow it to hit your subject directly, or skip the diffuser in favour of a bounce card to help you direct the light to where you want it to fall. Hard light is stronger than soft light and accentuates shadows and contrast. It is used for more of a dramatic effect. So the next time you shoot, take your time and play around with the distance from your window. Try bouncing or blocking the light with some white or black cardboard. Take note of the various ways your light hits your scene and what makes the most sense to best present your subject. The more you take care to understand why you are getting the effect you are getting, the more it will come to you naturally and you'll be able to create images that make the most of your light. Tip 4. Learn the basics of composition. A basic rule of composition is the rule of thirds. This is a compositional guideline that divides an image into 9 equal sections using 2 horizontal lines and 2 vertical lines. The important elements fall along these lines or at the points where they intersect. The great thing is that the smartphone already has this grid as an overlay when you turn on your camera. This grid helps add harmony to your images and will aid you considerably in creating your composition. Tip 5. Download the best apps. The store on your smartphone hosts a wide range of photography apps to help you make the most of your camera. From the many hundreds, there are just two that I think you need. These are Adobe Photoshop Lightroom and Snapseed. Adobe Photoshop Lightroom is a free, powerful, yet intuitive photo editor. Lightroom empowers you to create beautiful photos while helping you become a better photographer. The app features a pro-level camera. This helps you control things such as exposure, aperture, and which lens, if you have multiple on your phone, with a click of a button. It adds a more manual touch. A cutting-edge camera mode. So get more detailed shots with advanced capture modes such as RAW, Professional, and HDR presets. Make dramatic changes to your photos with one single touch in the photo editor. And finally, there's interactive tutorials, so get inspired and learn how to make the photo edits you want by completing the step-by-step lessons curated by fellow photographers. Snapseed. Snapseed is a complete photo editor developed by Google. You can edit pictures using the swipe gestures to select different effects and enhancements. Alternatively, you can opt for an automatic adjustment of the colour and contrast. Snapseed saves the editing history and can redirect you to any of the previous actions. It can also create and save filter combinations by using the default filters and editing features. And a bonus tip for you is I want to share a few key accessories I use when photographing products and food. These range from fairly inexpensive items to ones that aren't exactly necessary but with the right investment can help your images convey your story. These include a reflector and a diffuser. These tend to come in a 5-in-1 with different coloured reflectors. A bounce board, like we talked about with hard light where you might want to manipulate the light. A tripod. This is great for when you need to move things around in your scene but you don't want to move your phone. And then finally, vinyl backdrops. These are great in case of any spillages and they're really hard wearing and add a real atmosphere to any image. So thank you for listening, and if you'd like to know more, please join me at one of the future webinars, and during the webinars I'll be going into more detail on each tip and I'll be available for a Q&A.